We had to get our own chairs this morning. In the Stands podcast, back at you, 2026. Andy Roberts, Jason Loggins,
What up?
Tony Cash.
Good day, good day, good day.
That's right. Welcome, gentlemen. Feels good to be back at it.
It
I know
does.
we took a couple weeks off.
Much needed.
Oh, yeah, much
Definitely.
needed.
It got busy there at the end of the year. So
Yeah. Lanierland was quite the experience for us here in the stands.
Yep, definitely. That was a lot of fun. Looking to do a lot of things with Lanierland coming up next year. So
Absolutely.
that was a success for it to be the first year, I believe. So 2026, I know a lot of people say it, new year, new us. We feel like that with the podcast. Coming off what we think was a great start.
Oh, yeah.
Learned a lot. Looking to take that into this year. Gotten a lot of feedback from the community, kind of what they want, a little bit of their vision, which has been great. So we've got some fun episodes coming up. Think everybody's going to enjoy those.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just to let everybody know, I'm fasting right now on the Daniels fast. So y'all are going to have to bear with me the next couple weeks. It's not easy, but it was well needed from me. So.
More power to you. I'm doing dry January, so that's about all I gave up.
Well, that's a pretty big one.
I'm not doing anything, so.
We can tell.
We can tell. By the way, love the shirt. Loggins, my therapist, gave up.
Yeah, he gave it to me when he kicked me out, so.
What, after the first session, I bet, too?
I had two, so, it is what it is.
Well, in anybody's career, when they enjoy it, you want to be successful at it. And
Yeah.
so when you walk into a therapist's office and they realize there's nothing I can do, it just, I would think it
I
makes
didn't wanna
them
go.
second guess if they're going to do it.
Yeah.
Who made you go?
Don't worry about that part, but
The judge.
no. But, this is a big year for me. I turned 50, so
5-0 this year?
it's going to be epic. So I'm just letting you guys know that it's going to be even worse than it was last year, so.
We had a big deal on the podcast for that.
Absolutely. 55-0. Golly. You look 60, though.
No, I don't. I look younger.
Oh.
We could get him a date. That's the goal for this year.
I think he's
all-
had dates. He's just afraid.
No,
you
it's
know,
all about the
that-
want to.
Hey,
And
it's
let's
the-
not talk about my personal life here. I just said, I'm turning
I'm
50.
just going to go back to ninth grade homecoming. He's
We're getting past that.
We're good.
I'm telling you, The Bachelor. In the Stands, The Bachelor is going to be an episode.
Oh, wow.
That's my goal.
I'm busy.
No, I think
See, he's
it's gonna be
afraid.
great.
He's afraid of coming
I'm putting all my effort in the stands this year.
in the stands.
Hmm?
Nice. Woo. Well, I don't know if your work will appreciate that, but we will appreciate it.
Yeah, we actually do appreciate that. Speaking of success, putting a lot of effort in, let's just kind of talk about last year. I think we were 4 months into the podcast.
Yeah.
End of the year. I know kind of took off there at the end a little bit like we talked about. It got busy, but, it was a lot of fun.
It was.
So, Cash, tell us a little bit about your favorite moments, a little bit about what you learned.
My favorite moment being on Sports Center. Just letting you
That's
know.
a big one.
Tell people I was at the right place at the right time. Loggins, I got to thank you for the idea of getting, us sitting down there at Lanierland. That was fun. Lanierland as a whole was fun.
Yeah.
Being able to watch the games where we watched them, commentate during them, talking to the coaches before the games. Heck, even having Coach Vining, Coach Dix come sit down. I know y'all had Coach Travis for a minute.
Coach Scott.
Shirley, all of them. You're right. Being able to talk to them during the game and analyze the game that they're looking at, but interviewing them in a halftime, Loggins like, "Hey, Coach, why don't you go shoot it?" And he said, "All right." And then we got Coach Graham out there to shoot.
Granny shot.
Even he almost made it. Coach Coleman from Lakeview, he shot. But yeah, that's probably that's a highlight that we'll always remember.
Always. He's talking about Coach Dix, everybody. If you've not seen it, Coach Dix went out at halftime with Loggins and Cash to shoot the half-court shot and drained it.
Drained it. I mean, and then a celebration. That's what I think people, when you looked on Sports Center, is like, don't know if the shot was better or the celebration was better.
It was all great. That was actually, no kidding, that was actually one of the loudest the gyms.
Oh,
Oh, the
Jim
crowd
was
was
the
going
entire
crazy when they
tournament.
were walking out. So they seen who was going out there
Yeah.
fixing to do it, and they said, "Oh, look!" And
Yeah.
Nothing but net.
Nothing but net.
Yeah, that was great.
I thought that was great. You know, I like that Lanierland does that. Jackson EMC is a big part of that.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I was a little disappointed that they drew the names out of the hat because I did make the half court shot during the playing games.
Yeah, I thought everybody was going to get to shoot.
Yeah, that made it, you know.
But it makes sense for them. to
Yeah,
do it
because
that
that'd
way.
be a lot of money if people started draining.
Yeah, definitely.
And I like they kind of bounced off the Pat McAfee during the game.
Yeah,
and
that
they're
was
like
great.
one more shot, you know, just like game day when they do it. So that was fun. That was probably my most favorite, you know, moment. But I did enjoy the FCA game as well, being asked to come to
Yeah,
it.
it was big.
So
Yeah, FCA All-Star Game football. They do just a great job with that. Get these high schoolers a little bit more exposure while teaching them about the Lord a little bit before the
Yeah.
game, and it's just a great thing what they do. They asked us to go out there and film that video, which I know we all enjoyed.
Oh, yeah.
So it was great, and that's exactly what we want in this community, or what we're trying to do for the community.
Yeah.
So, Loggins, you have a favorite moment?
Well, I'm just this how this whole thing just started, you know, and it's just developed. And I've got something to say later on, but I think, I mean, all the guests that came on were special to me, but obviously AJ Styles, you know, because my background, I love wrestling. You know, it takes me back to my grandparents, you know, as a kid, and watching him from here, being from Hall County, being the superstar that he is, he's come on and to share his stories about not only wrestling, high school wrestling, but his faith. That meant a lot to me too. So, just all the, I was taken back by everyone that came on here and took the time out. So sure,
yeah. You know, it's funny you talked about up there in Baldwin or Alto,
Habersham.
where you got to start. And New Year's Day, we go up to a restaurant to eat with my mom for New Year's Day, and we go right by it. And I told my wife, I was like, that's where AJ got to start right there.
right.
She's like, in that building? I'm like, it's, don't get me wrong, it's terrible now. It's probably fallen in. But back then it was.
It was even terrible back behind the stage, too, trying to get dressed out and stuff. It was real small and.
But
what an incredible story.
Absolutely.
I mean, it really is. Great. You know, favorite moments. I'm going to say this. I still, to now, my favorite thing is being out in the community and somebody in the community bringing up the podcast and then starting with their ideas, what they've loved that we've done so far, just the buy-in from the community.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of people that don't even know about the podcast.
Yeah.
So that is a big goal for what we have in 2026 is to continue to get it out there. We completely understand we're still learning with this. And so we want everybody's buy-in and input from it. But that's been huge, just knowing that, you know, we're getting the feeling that the community is really behind this.
Oh, yeah.
There's definitely a market for this. And so we want to do it the right way. This truly is. We want to highlight a lot of the players, as many as we can along the way. And we want to talk about those hot topics. We got so busy there with going to some of these big games that we've still got a handful of topics we want to address on here. And we know everybody wants to hear about and have some input in. So we're going to do that over the podcast this next year. So I think that'll be great. Thank you for everybody that's been on here. You know, we had episode 1 just informative what we're going to be doing, which I think was great. And then right out of the gate, Michael Thurman coming on here. I thought was huge just for what he's doing, not just in this community. He's starting to do all over the state. I think he's been into North Carolina,
South Carolina.
South Carolina, but just what, you know, his heart for the Lord and his heart for these student athletes is just unreal. It truly is a blessing to have him doing what he's doing. So to be on this podcast and just tell a little bit about that, I thought was huge out of the gate. Then the coach, Seth Vining, we just, man, you talk about somebody I could sit down with and talk to for a couple hours, I feel like every day.
Yeah.
Just the stories. He's still very involved in the community, which I love seeing. You can, you know, not just basketball games, but football games and other events. You can go in, and you never know when you're going to see him and his wife. Miss Kathy walked through that door and saw him at a basketball game last week. And so just great knowledge. He will definitely be back on this podcast. He's going to make multiple visits because we love hearing his stories. And his insight, especially with the way the dynamics have changed in the schools and sports and all that. So great. Into the GHSA director, Dr. Scott, wanted to come on here. That was pretty informative.
He was.
Learning about, with so many transfers moving around now. And again, I think that's going to continue because with the platform in college football, it's going to continue in high school.
Oh, yeah.
And so learning a little more about the rules of that was, that was fantastic, great. All the coaches we had on here, volleyball coaches, I know, football coaches, it's just been great.
Oh, yeah.
So just thank everybody that was willing to do that, made that trip.
Cross country. I mean, they were our big supporters there at the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
They were.
Give props to them, too. So.
And again, cross country, the runners we've got out there is big for this community. We probably take it for granted, and I know cross country doesn't get a lot of coverage, but there's some big time runners, young runners doing some big things already out of the gate. So that was a lot of fun to cover. Continue to do that this year. And so that's been another fun thing for me, is learning about some of these sports that we wouldn't have known. Flag football is going to continue to grow.
Yes.
We didn't get to cover a lot of that, but that's going to be a big thing.
Clay shooting.
Clay shooting.
Yeah.
Fishing is huge now.
Yeah, my kids. Liam jumped into it in middle school. Fishing is going to be interesting. We got Lake Lanier, which is evidently great for the largemouth bass, I believe it is. Liam actually made me go fishing, and now I have a fear when it comes to hooks and fish and all that. I can't take one until now. Liam finally got me over my fear. People, you can do it. You can get over your fears of fish. But I unhooked a little over 1 pound bass with him a couple times when we were fishing. Fishing's gonna be fun. The only thing is, gotta have a boat when you get in high school.
That's right.
Or access to a boat. So I'm thinking the bigger that sport gets, how many of these teams that travel the country, how many of them will be willing to come out and share their boat? And talking about that, they're only allowed to drive the boat. They're not allowed to assist in anything else. Drive the boat. They can't assist on baiting a hook. They can't assist on tying a hook. None of that. They can't even with the net. They're literally just a guide. It's all on the
like an Uber driver.
Yep, it's all on the participant to do what's needed. You take 3 or 4 poles out there. It's pretty interesting. Learning all of that. So,
and I love that these sports. When you talk about clay shooting, fishing, of course, golf. And then tennis. I mean, I know golf and tennis have been big in the county for a long time, but those are lifetime sports.
Oh yeah,
and I know we love most of the sports that are out there right now. We love watching them. We've got kids that are playing them right now. But that's even sometimes a bigger picture. I mean, let's face it. I'd love to know the percentage. I know it's very low, the percentage of athletes that go on to play in college and then even way lower past that. But these lifetime sports, I wish I did more of it in high school. Wish I knew more about it.
Oh, yeah.
You might have been unbaiting fish a long time ago if you'd had that in high school. Seriously.
Yeah.
So, but I do know, for everybody that doesn't know, the boat thing and fishing is a big deal. I know it's probably holding some back that want to be on the fishing team that does not have access to a boat. I know that's a big expense for anybody.
Yeah.
So I don't know what we can do to help, but just to get the word out in the community that if there's anybody out there listening that can help with that. I know some of these schools are, trying to build those programs, but obviously got to have boats to do it.
And what I love about that too is it reaches kids that may not be able to make the basketball team or but this still gives them an outlet. It's a team sport,
Sure.
Working together, extracurricular.
Yeah, being active.
Yeah, active. You learn lifetime skills. You're right, but then that's what in high school. That's what the coaches are teaching them. The teachers lifetime skills, and are we going to see deer hunting become a sport?
I can see it.
What about pickleball?
I don't think we're far away from that. I think we're closer to pickleball than we are deer hunting. I will say that.
As many deer that are around here, I don't know. They probably want that to be a sport sooner than later.
I've also learned, deer hunting. I haven't hunted in several years, but we got a large doe problem. And it's the bucks aren't. You're not getting. we almost killed more bucks than does this year in the state of Georgia. So I could see it, But yeah, pickleball. It's I haven't played it yet, but I hear it's a lot of fun. Talking about in the kitchen and all that. I don't understand the rules, but it's a bigger version of ping pong from what I understand.
Well, I'm just going to put it out here first on the episode of 2026. I challenge y'all. Never played it before, but I think I could beat you.
You're turning 50. You said that already. So your knees and hips can't keep up.
Have y'all finished the 5K yet?
What are you talking about? We did that day.
Let's stop living in the past. It's 2026.
I'm
now.
just saying.
Move on.
Take it
Hey,
one
that's why
split
the
at a time,
windshield's
okay?
bigger than the rearview
Right,
mirror,
one split at a
Andy.
time.
Woo.
Why does he want to bring that up?
Because he's been working out. He's on this fast.
That's
now,
right.
So because he's got a lot of stuff on his mind. So
This is all true. Fantasy football, I thought was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah,
And
so did I.
We're we're going to continue that. I know we wanted to do that with Lanierland, but again, just kind of got busy. They're prepping for Lanierland, but next year I'd like to see that in basketball.
Oh yeah.
I think there's going to be a way to do it in baseball and then continue it on from sports there. That was a lot of fun. I feel like that gave those players some recognition that deserved it, and
Absolutely.
it was fun for us trying to strategize and everybody loved watching the jelly bean competitions. That was a lot of fun.
Once again, as a general manager, you stink.
yeah, things that will happen. Just like the Falcons.
Oh,
You
here
have
we
these
go.
up and down years, and I won 13. I went 13-2 in another fantasy league. Won the regular season and got put out in the first round. So
Not surprised.
Yeah.
it is what it is. So
Yeah, fantasy football was fun. I'd like to see if we can do it all year next year and do a weekly update on it. Might be a little bit tougher, but yeah, it was fun, especially knowing that I won. Didn't have to eat any jelly beans.
It was good.
You got the dead
Next
fish.
topic.
LCA, back-to-back champions in football.
yeah.
That was a lot of fun. Again, on this podcast, we all know sports. In the end, is so much more than just if you won a state championship or not or got there. But at the same time, that's everybody's goal, right? You want to go into that season. There's a lot of work, blood, sweat, and tears sometimes,
Yep.
literally.
You still got to compete.
Yeah, you got to compete and put in all this, and that's the big picture, right? You want to get to the state championship. So we really want to try to do our part with highlighting everybody that does that. So LCA, props to you. We had some other ones make the state championship
Yeah.
games. Just come up a little bit short, but that's okay. It's huge to get there. And we're going to keep talking LCA. I hear it a lot. Lakeview, I know we've touched on this podcast. There's a lot of people, that, and I get it. Maybe, okay, can you take an LCA and plug them into the county and them dominate the county? Probably not with the numbers right now. But it's apples for apples, right?
Yep.
It's we're talking about a lot smaller school with a lot smaller numbers, and their competition is still competition on the same level.
Yep.
To me, it's no different than somebody in AA or AAA, which we've got some really good programs in the county that have been 3A, 4A, and 5A, and that 3A school would not voluntarily jump out and start playing 6A.
No.
It's not apples for apples. You're talking about the amount of kids there, the athletes that are there. It's not. So they're competing in 3A, which is on the same level. Same with single A. Single A is not going to let me go up to 4A and show them what I can do.
Well, the schools that used to be able to do that have been moved up.
Well, correct, because where they headed. We'll get into that. But to me, it's all the same. Nobody's saying these teams are the best in the state and go out there and do that. But there are still some great players that could go on to do some great things. And
I think part of that's a little jealousy too.
I agree. I think so.
Oh yeah, they used to hate Lakeview being until recently. Lakeview, was the doormat for many years in basketball. When new coaches came in, people started complaining about them being in Lanierland.
Yeah.
So it's
Well-
just about jealousy and because of the fear factor of the coaches, because they're well-coached teams over there now.
Yeah.
And
And
to me, LCA, I think LCA should be in Lanierland. That's just, I mean, because I've seen them play other day against other, and I've seen other county teams play, and they're just as good as some of the lesser teams that are playing in the Hall County or Lanier Land.
100%. I think LCA definitely deserves to be in there. I was, I guess, a little bit surprised that not even just from the LCA community, but being at Lanier Land, I think 3 times over the course, I heard from a couple people that are huge names when it comes to Lanier Land in the past, and they brought up LCA and getting in there. And look, this could almost be a whole episode, but we will touch on it. Obviously, there's a lot of talk around Gainesville.
Yep.
I know where you're going
Now headed towards, what Buford's doing.
Sure.
And for anybody out there, I know most have heard of IMG. I guess everybody's heard of IMG. Okay. So I didn't know what IMG was till maybe the start of last year, a couple of years ago. And actually my sons were telling me about it. And so, of course, with the kids, it's big hype. Hey, you can move down to Florida if you truly want to focus on sports and get additional training throughout the year and all that. Hey, I think for the families that can do it and want to do it, and sure, not a bad thing. That's a good outlet there. Surprisingly, this year I saw top 5 programs ranked in the country. Okay, IMG was 5th on that list. Buford, number 3.
I can see that.
I can't remember what school out of Texas, but was at number 1. I mean, when you think of Buford and Gainesville being 14 miles down the road,
neighbors,
16 miles, basically neighbors, and to know what they're doing, to me it's kind of crazy that you've got 2 programs that close together. But Gainesville has now, there's been a lot of debate, there's been a lot of talk, that Gainesville, it's not Gainesville community kids really playing anymore. It's definitely mostly transfers in most of the programs now there. I think that is the times now. I think Gainesville has moved into one of these programs that are going to continue to bring in players.
Oh, yeah.
And again, I think because now what it is, I don't even think it's all Gainesville going out to get the players. I think now because
of who they are,
of who they are,
the brand,
and the brand, and does it give my child more outlets to be seen and to the next college level? And obviously it does in some areas. So, if it does continue down that road, I think we could all debate all day long if it's a good or bad thing for the community. I definitely think there's some obviously pros and cons to it. I think there's definitely some things that's helping the county. There's definitely transfers
out.
Yep. So just in football alone, and this is just not football. These programs are headed there, and all the programs.
Well, we can talk about basketball. Talking about Gainesville and Lanier Land, and we know what Lanier Land means to this county and this community. The East Hall Gainesville game was not the East Hall Gainesville game. I mean, you remember back in the days, the gyms were packed out. They were chanting against each other. You had the Amen corner. You got
fighting
the
in the
section.
stands.
I mean, it was not that way. But I will give Gainesville student section credit. There was none in the semifinals against East Hall, which shocked me, going against East Hall. But they were there for the bluff. They did have the Amen corner. I got to hand it to them, Now, granted, when Gainesville won, those boys didn't celebrate like you saw in the girls' game when Cherokee Bluff finally got over the hump, when we've seen in years past when schools win, when they know what Lanier Land means. It was another just win for Gainesville. But I will hand it to the student section that showed up from Gainesville. I'm sure a lot of those were Gainesville, community that grew up here. But, yeah, I mean, that's a conversation that's going to be had. And
well, there's 2 aspects to it. You've got the competition, the meaning behind Lanier Land. It's the longest running tournament
in the state of Georgia. Yep.
There's so much pride there. There is not a basketball coach out there in the county that when they take that job, that they don't look at that schedule in Lanier Land and think, okay, what are my chances this year? What can we go out there and do? They want it bad. You hear all the coaches talk about it up until that point. Lanier Land, because there's so much pride on the line. So a couple aspects here. One, I think Gainesville every kid on that roster. I know at least
I
9 or
don't
10 are
think-
transferred in
Yeah,
high
I
school.
don't think any of those kids were in 8th grade at Gainesville,
And
and I don't think most of them were there as freshmen or sophomores.
no, yeah, exactly. And so I think the pride for them is not really there. They didn't even. I'm going to tell you,
There's a
most
program.
of those kids.
There's a
Yeah,
program to go out there and play and move
right,
on to the
right.
next game.
And so I don't think they even knew what Linear Land was when they,
No.
got here. So I think that aspect takes away from it a little bit. Obviously, they're on the next level competing wise. They were a great
are.
program.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to give
Well coached.
well
yeah,
coached. I'm going to tell you right now. I know I walked in that gym expecting to see Gainesville just running back up and down the court because I knew that we knew they were going to be fast. We knew they were going to be long. And I just thought they're about to, press everybody.
Yep.
The athleticism is going to take over. And I was very surprised at how disciplined they were on the offensive side of the ball. Defensive also, but on the offensive side, they would stop, slow down.
Run their offense.
Coach would make them get in an offensive set, which is very smart because in the playoffs he's going to have to do it. And ball movement and patient for good shots. So
And I've heard that coach, that's all he does every game. It's not just what he did, at London. That's what he does, is you run his offense.
Yeah, he's a coach. He's not out there. They're not playing street ball.
no.
No, and that's the thing,
he's
too.
doing plays.
Getting all those, and that's another thing. You talk about transfers and whatnot. You got to get them to play together. We see it in the college level. You see it in basketball, especially. You get the one and dones, and every year you're rebuilding your roster. Similar to Gainesville. I got to hand it to him. He's got those boys playing together as a unit that want to play together, that want to be there. So it's pretty impressive for me.
Yeah, I agree. But at the same time, I think, my vote's 100%. You let LCA in.
Yep.
It would bring, another factor from the community, a lot more pride, all that. I'm not saying take Gainesville out. I think Gainesville is heading in that direction if they continue with
The
this.
big Christmas tournaments and stuff.
Yeah,
I
that
think.
they're going to probably be better off in showcases and that kind of thing. And so I think everybody needs to look at that down the line. Obviously, that'd be a lot of conversations and
Which is sad because the history of it, obviously.
Yeah,
But
definitely. Gainesville's got so much history there.
Yeah, but, sometimes
things
when you
change.
make
Yeah,
decisions,
they definitely change.
And I think now with the new coach coming in, it's going to get even. You're going to see more recruits coming in, or transfers coming in.
Yeah.
He's a young coach. I mean,
you're talking about the new football coach?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Coach Bryant. He's already had success at Grayson, so why not come play for him in Gainesville?
I mean,
Yeah. No, I think again, what Gainesville's doing is a whole nother level. But definitely from the moves they've made and making they're staying the course.
Yeah.
So that's just they're in this county. I think there will be some good things come from it because they're in the county.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's just a whole nother. That's almost a regional program. That's really getting on the national level. So as far as county schools and all that, it's just not apples for apples.
no, it's not.
Coach Pender was right in everything he said. When we asked him, would you play Gainesville? And he said, well, the problem with playing Gainesville is that's not apples for apples. That's
No.
not even
Not close.
And he's right in what he said there. So anyways, that's talks down the road. We can have a whole episode on that. And I know a lot of people have got a lot of thoughts and opinions on that and Gainesville and all that.
Well, let's talk about how hard this was compared to what we thought it was going to be.
Oh, yeah, that's I'd only seen a couple podcasts, when we started this, and again, thank you very much to the Siphons for helping us get this started using our media room. It's great. We kind of just tripped up into this again. I know Loggins has talked about it for a couple of years. I just had this vision of we need more spotlight on the community and the sports and all that. And we've only got a couple media outlets. I know they can't be anywhere. I know they've kind of I know they're expanding, but at the same time, it's kind of been the same just
MO, just keep
MO
it,
of
down
each
the-
season in the sports, what they go through. So we want to bring a fun vibe to this. And
Yeah, we're not competition to them at all. It's just they still haven't acknowledged us, which is okay. We're not trying to take their spotlight. We're just trying to give more insight and be more personal with the Hall County.
Well,
sport, so.
we want to have different conversations that they may or may not be able to have. We got the difficulty of one. We didn't realize how expensive this equipment is.
Oh boy.
The Barga boys got a shout out to them for being able to got to edit, film. doing the games, going to the games, like, yeah, we get to do the fun part of talking and on camera and whatnot. Headland Airland, they were up there editing
While we were
while we were
Yeah.
doing like it. That was an absolute stressful moment for them. You could see it on their faces, and
and
They've
we're
done
kind of
awesome.
demanding at times too.
Oh,
when,
yeah.
when you
Yeah,
get this thing
definitely.
out, at a certain time. But this, when we interviewed AJ there at Lakeview, all the equipment they brought in.
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
they were hanging stuff from the ceiling, just getting the perfect
The
lighting
lights,
and stuff.
yeah,
so
it's,
props to you, Barger Boys. So,
Yeah.
appreciate
they didn't do that today. But
Ah,
it's okay.
it's okay.
New year, we're getting all
That's
to
right.
start.
Yeah, a lot of work, a lot of
A
time.
lot of work. Yeah.
So it is not. This is not an easy thing.
No.
We did find that out pretty quickly, but
And it'll test your patience.
yeah.
I don't have any.
Well, the good thing is I think we appreciate each other. We didn't always see eye to eye, which is fun. Those
That's what
dynamics. I
makes it
think we're getting to know each other on a deeper level as not just we went from coworker friends to true friends and now partners in this, and
Yeah.
our families have hung out a few times. It's been
Sure.
cool, but it's definitely a lot harder than I anticipated.
Yeah, definitely. But it's been a lot of fun. We're going to stick with it.
It's been worth it too.
It's definitely been worth it.
Rewarding.
Yep.
Yeah, rewarding. I like that.
So yeah,
I've been waiting on this.
Same here. We have no idea what this is.
Yeah,
everybody,
so
this is great.
it's hard for me to put words into place at times.
we know it's
like-
hard for you to speak. Period.
Yeah,
but
so I actually wrote this, or
Okay.
put this together, and so this is what my highlights are. So I'm just going to say thank you to the Barger Boys, Siphon, and all our sponsors.
I do. I'll take a quick second to say thank you to our sponsors.
Yep.
Again, we're talking about how hard this is, the time commitment, and the cost.
Yes.
So we really had some people step up in the community, conditioned air systems, turnkey facility maintenance, M&R rentals. We couldn't do it without you. Christy Young.
Christy Young,
Yeah,
Young
Young
at
Heart.
Heart Designs.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, thank you very much for all the swag. She really stepped up just quickly out of the gate and gave us a lot of ideas with that,
Yeah.
which has been great. We've now got people in the community now ordering the stuff. We're going to put that up for everybody to see, but you can actually go to a link and order some apparel if you want it, which would be great. That's just to help us get the name out there.
Yeah.
This has not been a revenue stream for us. I can promise everybody that.
We're in the negative on this.
Yes,
Yeah.
for anybody
We're in the
sitting out
red.
there thinking this is great, these guys are doing that and making money at it. That is not the case. We could not do this without the sponsors, and we cannot thank all of you for stepping up.
Yep. So yeah, this was a lot harder than I ever expected, but also incredibly rewarding. Hall County is rich in talent, not only with quality coaches, but with genuinely good people who care about kids beyond athletics. Getting to know coaches across the county meant a lot to me. Thank you to every guest who took the time out to come on and simply talk about their experiences in high school athletics.
Yep.
Every story was special and unique. Having Dr. Scott join us so early on, and then take the time to talk to us the day of the appeal process was huge. Experiencing big moments in volleyball, softball, football, and Lanierland, backed up by so much county support, was truly special. Being asked by FCA to help promote the football all-star game meant more to me than I can put into words. I know I don't always talk a lot. And sometimes I stuttered to try to get my words out. But when I told Andy Hall County needed this, I couldn't have picked two better people to do it with. Andy, thank you for keeping the flow, lining up everything, and always being detailed. Cash, thank you for being you, the tardiness, the banner, and always coming through with your context when it mattered. This year, I expect bigger things from in the stands as we continue to promote and support Hall County student athletes. I love y'all. So
Thanks, buddy.
That's
I love
awesome.
You too.
Yeah, that is.
I didn't know
yeah,
you-
because I'm out of the loop, So this means a lot to me. So y'all don't know that.
Well, as everybody can see, Loggins is passionate about this. He really, as we were talking about doing this, had a lot of passion behind it. He loves, this community.
Yes.
and loves watching the athletes out there. So it wouldn't have started without him. It
Nope.
wouldn't have started without you, and so we can't thank you enough. And yeah, this is great. And again, just seeing the support from the community and hearing from everybody. We love hearing from everybody. Again, there's still sports this past, going into the year we didn't get to cover.
Wrestling. We had that
wrestling
playing
right
game. We missed the
now.
whole county championships.
Yep,
so.
which is big in the county. That's on us. We apologize to the wrestling community.
Swimming.
Swimming,
cheerleading.
same. So
Oh yeah, competition cheer. We
Yep.
didn't get to touch on that any.
same. So, but we do need everybody's help with
Yes.
all of this, and we need everybody to continue. Again, just like all media outlets, we also need everybody's help getting us stats, getting us big competitions coming up, tournaments, games. We're going to talk about all of it. We want to cover as much as we can, but we do need the community's help on that.
Yep.
So we'll be putting up outlets of ways you can reach us. We'll continue as the year goes to really push that, to give everybody the info they need to get into touch with us
Yep.
and to do that. So,
Awesome.
again, a lot of fun stuff coming up.
Yeah. Loggins, you got me
Yeah, right.
choked up. I
Yeah, I hate
almost
it.
want to cut the.
Yeah,
I know.
y'all might need to edit that
I feel
out. so.
feel like we dropped the ball to not have a
Yeah, I
speech
know.
as well, because that was great.
And you're not out of the loop. I'll tell you, as somebody that loves the community and stays up, you're one of the most observant, passionate people that I know. That and you're not willing to make phone calls or figure out what's going on. So I do appreciate you.
Yep.
And love you too, buddy.
Yep.
Yep, same. So yeah, just this has been great. We're we don't want to put everything out there. I'm just going to be upfront. We don't want somebody else to take these ideas. But we've got a couple really fun episodes coming up over the next month.
Yes.
I'd
Something
say.
we talked about, and it's coming into reality. We talked about it on
Yeah.
previous episodes.
Oh, dropping a little hint.
Yeah.
A little
Yeah.
hint. You might have to go back and watch, folks.
Yeah, this is I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be one of the most fun episodes coming up here in, right now, around in 3 or 4 weeks.
Yep.
So keep watching. Right now, these will continue to be dropped weekly.
Yep.
Please, any ideas if you see us around the community, do not hesitate to stop, introduce yourself, and tell us how you feel about it. Any ideas you've got, throw them out there. We'd love to hear it.
Yep.
So, again, thank you to everybody.
Yep. Thank y'all.
See you next week.